All right, welcome back to this exciting project, and I'm very glad to take you through this project, which is quite intuitive and very much practical, right? So, this is a project where we're going to see how we count the number of cars at the car park, okay? And this project can be generalized to any project at all where you want to count the number of occurrence of events or occurrence of objects, or for instance, in the airport, right? The number of occurrence of people leaving and entering, and I mean, materials going in and coming in, right? Or even if you're in the manufacturing, how you if you want to count the number of inventories over there, this project is going to be very, very much helpful for you. Okay, this is going to be very, very much helpful for you. This is a practical and real world project that we're going to do over here. Let me actually show you a demo of the project, okay, so that you get to know what I'm talking about. Okay, so this one, as you can see here, so I've run the program, and you can see that over here you can see some spaces that are green and then some that are red. Okay, so we are counting the number of spaces that are free, right? So you can see so far we have 15 spaces that are free, okay, out of 69 parking spaces that we have. Okay, so if the car is there, right, if the car is there, then the place is not free. But if the car is not there, you can see that the place will be green. Okay, the place will be green. So if you can see, this car is leaving, so the place has turned to green. You see, this place is red, but as the car leaves, right, the place will be green because the place will become available. Now you see that it has turned to green, right? So this is really, really good. You can use the same thing, the same knowledge, to count the number of materials or the number of inventories at the manufacturing center, right? Or maybe, as I said, the number of drugs at a drug manufacturing shop. Okay, you can do it for a number of things. Okay, the more interesting thing, right? And then you can see the number of count over here, right? You can also see, if you see a person, right, there's a person over here, right, who is walking over here, but since the person is not a car, you see that the place is still green. Even if the person leaves, nothing happened. If the person enters, nothing will happen. Okay, nothing will happen because this is a person, not a car. It's just still able to detect these kind of things and then count them respectively over here for us. Okay, this is very, an interesting project and real world practical project that you can apply anywhere else. All right. So are we going to go through step by step? I'm going to show you how the project is done right from the scratch. I'm going to open a new PyCharm, and then we create it right from the scratch. Okay, explaining every step to you for your understanding, and then after that you can use it for any project that you want. Okay, any project that you want at all. All right, hello and welcome. I'm so excited to introduce you to this incredible project. If you have enrolled in this course, we want you to go beyond the ordinary. We want you to have something that is fully functional, that you can show to your employers of your skills and what you can do. We don't want you to do just something ordinary that everyone is doing, but something incredible. This is a fully developed application that I'm going to walk you through step by step how to do it right from the scratch, right from getting the data to deploying this application. All right. So I'll walk you through step by step. This is a very, very incredible project that you're going to do in this course. Now, this is a Netflix recommendation system. Let me give you a demo of this project so that you get to know what is inside this project. This is a recommendation system that we have built. Now, what you can do is that if you go to Netflix, you search for the movie, then you get the particular movie, and then you see that they will recommend similar movies to you. That is what you're going to build in this project. So over here, as you can see, any movie that you search, you're going to have that particular movie, the information of the movie. You're going to have a top cast, that is the actors and the actresses that are in the movie. You're going to see them over here, and if you click on any of them, you're going to have an information about that particular actor, all right, or that particular actress, right? This is incredible. This is incredible, and you're going to love this project in this course, right? As you can see, then there's also a sentiment analysis over here. What are people saying about this movie? Is it a good review that they're giving, or a bad review? We're going to predict that as well. And if you see over here, you see that there's a recommendation movies for you. Okay, so based on the movie that you have searched, we also recommend similar ones to you. So you can see that all these are sci-fi movies, right? They are all in the same categories, right? They're all in the same categories. If you click on any of these movies, it's going to also recommend. I'm going to search, so you see that it's searching inside the database, and then it's now you see that it's the Matrix Revolution. right? It has searched through the database. You can see that the title of the movie is here, the overview of the movie is here, and you can see that the rating of the movie out of 10 and how many people have rated this, okay, and then the genre of the movie, right, and then the date the movie was released, the hours, and then the minutes, right? Whether it's released or it's still in process. So you can actually see, and then the top cast in the movies. You see that they are here, right? These are the top cast in the movies. You can just click on any of them, and then you see an information about the person, right? You can just click on any of them, you can get an information about, and then the analysis, what people are saying, right? The user reviews, we analyze this one and then predict whether it's a bad review or it's a good review. You can see that some are good, some are good, some are good. This one is having a lot of good reviews, right? Only one bad review over here, right? And then another, you see that there's a recommendation. Remember that earlier on we were seeing Hawk, right? And then they recommended this movie, The Mattress Revolution, because they are all in the same category, right? That's why you can see that Hawk is coming here. Okay, now let me go to Netflix over here, right? So if I go to Netflix. All right, let me go to Netflix over here. Okay, now here I'm going to just search for any movie. I mean any movie at all, and then see. I'll go and search it in our application that we're going to build and see if it's going to give us something good. Let me see some of the movies that excite me over here. I'm not sure, but let's say I search this one, Tarzan, right? So let me go. Here is Tarzan, TARZ, right? The Legend of Tarzan. Now you see that it's there, right? So if I click on that, you see that we also have auto suggestion. I'll walk you through how I did all that, right? So that you can have the auto suggestion, right? So you can see that it's searching over here in the database. And this is a live, it's fetching the information live. It's not that it's there, then it's going through, it's fetching it live. Now you see that it's there, right? The Legend of Tarzan. You see that the image is there. All the information, right, about it is right here, right? From rating, genre, and everything, okay? And then you can see that the top cast in the movie, right? These are the top cast in the Tarzan movie, right? If you click on that, you can see that you have all the information about the actor over there or the actress, right? If you click on that, you see that you have all the information about the person, right? And then the review and also the sentiment predictions are also here. And then you see that these are the recommendations. These are movies that are similar to Tarzan, right? These are movies that are similar to that. Now, if you click on any of these movies, you're also going to have information about that movie and also a recommendation about that, right? So for instance, I click on this one, Eclipse, right? So let's see the information that we're going to now see that it has fetched information about that one as well, right? And then these are the top cast in that movie, right? These are the top cast. If we click on any of them, you're going to have information about them. The sentiment predictions are also there, and you see there are also recommendations here. This is a fully functional application that we're going to build right from the scratch, right from fetching the data, right, scrapping, doing a lot of web scraping in this case, and then getting the data, preparing the data, building the application and everything, right? You're going to see it live in this course, right? So I hope you enjoy this. This is a fully functional application, and we don't want you to do just something that you cannot do, you cannot even present to employees. Something that if someone sees that you did this, then they know that yes, you have learned, right? You have learned a lot and you have accumulated a lot of skills and you understand what you're doing, right? So that's what we're going to do in this particular project, all right? Hello and welcome. In this tutorial, we're going to do one of the exciting projects in computer vision. We're going to do pose detection and also extract these poses onto a brand new canvas. This use case is very useful, especially when you're in the health domain or you're in the sports domain where you want to detect the pose of a boxer, of an athlete, of a footballer, or of any player at all, right? Or if you're a gym instructor where you want to detect the pose of a person, this use case is very, very much applicable. Let me give you a demonstration of what I mean by pose detection. All right, so I'm going to run this code over here, and then we're going to have the result. All right, now you can see what do we have. Okay, so we have the person over here, and then you can see the pose of the person, right? We're able to detect the pose of the person and also extract these poses. All right, let me use a different image and then show you all that I mean by that, right? So I'm going to go here and then go to the code itself. We're going to walk through the code step by step. So I'm going to start from a new blank image, and then I'm going to show you everything over there, right? So let me just show you with a different one, right? So over here you can see that we have the post over there, we have the person. So we're able to detect whatever post that the person makes. We're able to detect everything over here perfectly like that, right? Let me use a different image for you to see, right? Let me use say 5, right? So let me use the image 5, and then I'll show you what I mean by that. Okay, now you can see over here, right? See, this is the real image over here, and I mean a video over here, and then you can see that we're able to extract all the posts of the person, right? So as the person moves, we're able to extract. So if you're a gym instructor, if you're a medical instructor, you want to detect the post of the person in order to give the recommendation, right? If you're a sports analyst, you'll be able to get all the poses of the person and then recommend the right positions, and you know which positions are not good or which position that the person needs to master more, right? You'll be able to detect all that, okay? You'll be able to detect all that. So this is very much useful, especially if you're in a sports analytics industry. This is going to be very much useful, okay? So you can see over here, right? We're able to detect whatever position that the person will be. We will still be able to detect. All right. Okay. So you can see that, right? So if you're a gym instructor, sports instructor, you can see the position, all right, all the pose of the person, and then you know how the person whether this pose is right, that's the right way to do it or not. You'll be able to give the right recommendation. Okay, so this is very much exciting project, and I'm sure you're going to love it by the end of the day. Okay, so we're going to get started over here, and I'm going to start with a blank PyCharm file so that we start doing it over there, right? So let's actually get started over here. All right. Alright, welcome to this exciting project. In this project, we're going to build one robust application where we're going to extract the data live from the internet. And in this case, I'm doing it for Berlin, but you can do it for any city or any country at all. Alright, after I take you through step by step, you can do it for any country, for any city, or for any region or continent at all. Alright, so here what we're going to do is that we're going to build a dashboard for COVID-19. Okay, we're going to build this one for Berlin city, but you can build it for your own city, for your own country, or for your own region, right? Whatever you want to do with it after that, right? You can do it. So we're going to build a robust and standard dashboard over here, right? As you can see, right, with all those reports coming in. Okay, we're going to have all of them over here, right? And we're going to even make it more flexible by selecting different regions, right? So in your own country, you can select as many regions as you want, and then you compare how the COVID cases are going. Okay, you can just do it like that. You can see how robust we are getting the data. Okay, we are extracting the data. This one is live, so whatever your situation is right now, you can see it right now. Okay, you can see all the report and all the data right here. Okay, you can see everything right here. So that's basically what we're going to do. We're going to build this one right from the scratch. Okay, you even have the flexibility to choose between the number of days that you want to see. Okay, between the number of days. So now you see this one is 145 days. Okay, within 145 days, this is the data that we have. Okay, this is the data that we have, right? Very robust and very professional over here, right? So we're going to see this one step by step. I'm going to take you through so that you can see it. In fact, you can even change the plotting styles and everything just with one click. Okay, you see how the plotting styles have changed now. Okay, see how the plotting styles have changed. Okay, so you can just do it the way that you want. Okay, you can also change the background if you want, change the color and everything, right? Change it, and then you see that you have a different presentation altogether. Okay, you have a different presentations altogether, right? So I mean, this is very robust and very much professional over here, right? And I'm going to take you through step by step so that you get to know how to do it, right? You're going to go through creating it right from the scratch, opening a new PyCharm, right? And then I'll show you how to do it. Okay, I'll show you how to do it. You can plot it for all the cities at once. Okay, so maybe if I take all these things out and then leave only all the cities in, say, Berlin. So in your own city you can do it for them, right? So you can see how it is, right? Overall trend, you can also see the overall trend. Okay, or just compare it with some other states or some other cities, right? Or you can do it from country to country, compare them like that. Okay, you can do it like that too. Okay, so it's very much professional and very much robust over here, which we are going to do. And this data is live data, so you can actually have the data right there. Okay, as you are doing it, you're going to have the data right there. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do this thing right from the scratch. And you're going to add this one to your GitHub portfolio, which will show the recruiters that yes, you have done something which is worth looking at. Okay, so let's get started and I'll take you through. All right, welcome back to another exciting machine learning project. Over here, we're going to build a web app that will predict whether a person is going to have a breast cancer or not based on certain factors that we are going to take into consideration in building our machine learning model. All right, so let me give you an overview of the the app that we're going to build. So we're going to prepare the data set, and then we do all the exploratory data analysis, and we build a machine learning model. And then we need to make sure that the model that we have built is actually working, right? It's something that we can show off. Okay, so over here you can see that we have certain attributes that we want to base on to predict whether the person is going to have breast cancer or not, right? So we have the clump thickness, we have the area mean, we have the size uniformity, the shape uniformity, marginal adhesion, epithelial size, we have bare nucleoli, we have bland chromatin, we have normal nucleoli, we have mitosis over here. So we're going to base on these attributes to make predictions. All right, so I'm just going to put any random values over here, right? So let's say here we have something like 156. So we have values like so I've given you the range over there, as you can see over there, as the values that you can put over there. So let's say here is 1, let's say here is say 3, and then let me put say 0.2 over here, and then let me put over here to be say point 0.03. Then let me put over here, let me put something like 0.1 over here, or maybe 0.01, something like that. And then over here let me put say 1.1 is fine. And that's actually data that is going to come from a certain patient, right? So in the hospital they will get the accurate data from the patient, right? But in this case I'm using hypothetical data, right? If there's a patient that has come to the hospital, then they will have the accurate data as they take the record of the patient. Okay, so let me use this hypothetical. Now if I click on this predict, you can see that we have the prediction of the person over there, right? Now you can see here it is showing that the patient is more likely to have a benign, right? A benign cancer. So we are predicting that the person is going to have a benign cancer with a probability value over there, right? If we choose maybe different values over here, right, we might end up getting different predictions over here, right? So it can be benign or it can be malignant. Okay, it can be benign or it can be malignant. So I'm just trying to see if I can choose a different values over here and then see if I'll get a different prediction. Okay, now it says that this time it's telling us that it's malignant because the probability value here is now greater, right? Earlier on it was around 0.01 something. All right, so if the probability is less, then the person is not likely to get cancer, but if the probability is higher, then the person is likely to get cancer. Okay, malignant means that you have a mild cell that is a negative, that's a default cell, you are likely to get cancer. But if you are benign, it means that you will not be having you are not likely to have cancer. Okay, so based on the prediction that we're going to do, we will be able to predict whether the person is going to have cancer or not. So this is going to save a lot of time, a lot of doctors' time, right? They will not need to administer too much to figure out whether the person is going to have it or not. Based on the attributes that they will be able to collect, they can just input those attributes into the app and they will be able to predict whether the person is going to have cancer or not. Okay, so let's start by first preparing our data to build the model. Alright, let's get started. Now in the previous videos we've seen how we can do an end-to-end machine learning project, right from getting our dataset ready, doing some exploratory data analysis, and then building our model and deploying it via our browser, right? Through Flask, right? Previously we did through Flask. So in this particular project, we're also going to do another end-to-end machine learning project where we're going to do the deployment through Heroku, okay? And in the subsequent videos, we're going to do it through Google Cloud and AWS, and also Microsoft Azure. All right, so let's get started now. Before we get started with getting our data set ready, doing all the exploratory data analysis and deploying it, let's see the final project that we are going to build by the end of this tutorial. All right, so over here we're going to build a model that will help us to predict the price of the various airlines that we have in India. All right, so over here you can see that we have the source. So for instance, let's say I'm coming from Delhi and I want to go to say Hyderabad or Calcutta, right? So let me just choose Calcutta over here, and then I can choose the date that I want to set off. So maybe on the 28th, right? And then I can even set the time, maybe 10, right? 10 maybe I want to go at 10 o'clock, right? Something like that. So I can just choose whatever time that I want over here, PM, okay? And then I can also choose the arrival date. I mean, you can ignore this one if you want to. Right, so maybe on the 29th. So I set off on 28th, then maybe on 29th, and then I'm just going to set any hypothetical date over here, right? And then after that, I can choose the airline that I want. So maybe Jet Airways. I want to use Jet Airways, and just the number of stops, maybe one stop is fine for me, right? So then I submit to this, right? So as soon as I click on the submit, you can see that we have the results over here as 13,693, right? 0.42 rupees. All right, so now I can have an idea of the cost that I have to bear if I want to move from, say, Delhi to Calcutta, right? So I mean this is quite intuitive compared to when you build it in a Jupyter notebook and then you leave it over there. All right, so basically that's what you're going to do. You're going to be able to deploy our model via Heroku, right, so that people can access it anywhere through their web browser, and then they can actually interact with our model, right? So that's basically what we're going to do by the end of this project. Okay. All right, so let's see the various steps that we need to follow before we get to this stage. All right, so I've actually put the steps down for you so that it will not be difficult for you. Things will be smooth for you when you want to work alongside this. All right, so previously we did another project where we were able to help with the various restaurants that are linked to Zomato to be able to predict their restaurant ratings, right? And we deploy this using Flask, right? So over here, what we're going to do is to deploy this using Heroku, right? You're going to deploy this using Heroku, and in order for us to move forward, I assumed that you first watched that first video where we deployed our Zomato restaurant analysis using Flask, right? So I assume that you've watched that video. If you've not watched that, I entreat you to watch that before this video, because some of the things that we're going to do are actually going to have its basis in that, coming from that particular video. All right, and it's quite explanatory in that video. If you watch that, this one will be very, very simple for you. It's not that if you will not watch that, you can still go along with this one, but things will be easier for you if you watch that video. All right, so if you've not watched that, I entreat you to watch that before this. All right, so if you've watched that, then you're good to go with this one, right? And so what we're going to do is to actually choose our use case. In this case, we're going to predict the flight price of the various airlines that we have in India, right? So that's basically what we are going to actually do for this particular project. All right, that's what we're going to do. Now, after that, after we've chosen our use case, the next thing that we're going to do is to get our data set prepared and then build our model, right? So we're going to get our data set prepared and then build our model. All right, so that's the next step that we're going to do. So our use case is to predict the flight price of the various airlines that we have in India. Okay, then after that we're going to create a web app using Flask, just like we did in the previous video, and then we're going to commit every code to GitHub. All right, and then after that we're going to create an account on Heroku. Okay, and then we are going to link this account that we've created on Heroku to our GitHub account, right? So that we'll be able to use this code that we've committed to GitHub. Okay, and then we finally deploy and then test our app. Okay, so it's just simple steps that we're going to follow in this particular project. All right, hello and welcome back. In this tutorial, we're going to build another exciting project in machine learning. We're going to prepare our data and then build our machine learning model and deploy it using Flask. So as you can see here, this is a web app that we're going to build by the end of this tutorial. All right, so let me give you an overview of this web app that we're going to build. Okay, so let me give you an overview of this web app that we're going to build. Okay, so in this project, we're going to predict the Indian Premier League score. Okay, so this is a score predictor that we're going to build. Now, we have the various teams over here. So if you select the particular team that that you want, right? So if I select, say, maybe I select Mumbai Indians, then I go here, then I select the other team over here, right? Then I come here and then I put in their score. So maybe the score is somewhere. The score is say 6, right? And then the number of runs, maybe I put the number of runs to be say 60 over here, and then the wickets I put it to be say 5, and maybe the runs, right? The runs maybe I put something like 50, right? Then the wickets taken in previous 5 overs, maybe for that I put 8 over here, right? Then I go to predict score. When I click on that, you see that the final predicted score is here, right? 145 to 160. Okay, so it's giving me the predicted score over here. Okay, that's what we are going to do. So this is very exciting, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy this project. All right, so let's dive into the code part, and then after that we will also see how we're going to use Flask to do this deployment. All right, welcome back. In this particular project, we're going to build an end-to-end machine learning project and then deploy it live in our web browser using what is called a Flask. Okay, after this project, we'll be able to predict live in our web browser the Zomato restaurant ratings, right? So we're going to use what is called a Flask to deploy our model. We're going to start right from the scratch, doing all this priority data analysis, and then build our model. After that, we're going to deploy it live using Flask in our web browser, and then we'll be able to do a live prediction, right? Live prediction of the various Zomato restaurant ratings. Okay, so let's see a quick demo of what we are going to build at the end of the project. All right, so over here, as you can see, we have if I zoom in a little bit for you, you see that we have order online. What that is, whether the restaurant is actually offer online order, allowing people to order online, and then we have book table. We're going to go through all these features one by one when we go to the notebook and we are building this, right? So we're going to go through all this. So you can see we have vote, we have location, we have restaurant, we have cuisines, we have cost, we have menu. So all of these are some of the features that we're going to base on, and then make a live prediction of the ratings that the particular restaurant will be having. So if this, let's say you're a restaurant owner, you want to see the rating of your restaurant, right, based on these features. So if you come here and then you input, that is, if you offer online order, you put 1 there. If you don't offer online order, you put 0 there, right? So in this case, let's assume we offer online order, so we put 1 there, and then whether we do book table, right? If you do book table, you use 1, right? You input 1. If you don't do, you input 0. Okay, so in this case, let's say we do, so we input 1 over there, and then the votes, right? The vote that our customers have voted. So over here, let's say we have around 565, and then the location, right? So we've encoded this. You will see it when we go to Jupyter Notebook, right? So you're going to see this, how we did this one. Now, if we put this one here and then the restaurant type, so we have several restaurant types that we can give. You can give your own restaurant type over here. So let's say 56, right? And then maybe the cuisine, we can just type it. I'm just giving any random values here. Maybe the cost, maybe you give like 2,300, right? Something like that. Maybe that's the cost of your dish over there. And then the menu type, we've also encoded this. I'll show you how we are going to do this. Okay, so I'm just giving some random numbers over there. Now, if we click on predict, let's see. Now you see that we have your rating is 4.2 over there, right? So we can do this live for all the restaurants that Zomato is connected to, right? So we can see all the ratings of all these restaurants. All right, so this is quite an interesting project, and I'm going to walk you through step by step how we're going to build this right from the scratch, right from loading the data all the way till we get to this stage. Okay, so let's get started. All right, welcome back. Now in this particular tutorial, we're going to see an amazing project that we have used simple SQL and Flask to build. Okay, we're going to see an amazing application that we have used just simple SQL and then Flask to build. Okay, so if you remember in the SQL class, we learned something about CRUD, right? About CRUD, that is create, read, update, and then delete. Okay, we learned that concept in the SQL class, but here we're going to actually base on that concept and then build an application. Okay, we're going to base on that concept, and then we're also going to use Flask. Okay, Python Flask. So we're combining two things over here, Python Flask and SQL. Okay, let me demonstrate to you what this application is going to do. So I call it Thing Finder, right? That is, if you're in a home and then you put something somewhere, sometimes you'll find it difficult to find where you have put the thing. Okay, you'll be searching everywhere in the house and then you realize that you can't even remember where you put that thing. It actually happens when you have smaller things like maybe key, right? Key to some drawer or something, okay, something like that. Or for women, for instance, their earring, they can put it somewhere and they forget where they have put it. So the idea is that if you put the thing somewhere, right, you can write the location that you have put it, okay, the date, and then you can delete or update it. Okay, so whatever that you have put the thing, you can easily find it, right, using this application. Okay, it's very simple application, but it's actually going to be very helpful. All right, so let's see how we're going to do that. Let me show you. So I'm just going to delete everything that we have over here, right? So if they log into your application, this is how it's going to look like. Okay, initially when they install your application, at first there will be nothing there. Okay, so you can see there are no items to find. Add one below. So let's say that I have maybe let's say a key. Okay, I have a key, then I put the key in the drawer. Okay, I put the key in the drawer. Now once I do that, right, I can do add. Okay, once I do that, you see that I have thing, then key, and then location where I've put it, the date that I put it. Okay, and then the action. So I can update or I can delete it. Okay, so if I want to update, right, maybe I did not put it at a drawer, or maybe I put it at on the desk. Okay, so I can put it like that. Okay, I can just come here, update it. If I do update, now I see that it's now key and then desk. Okay, and the time that you added is also going to be there. Okay, so you can add as many things as you want. Okay, so maybe I've put the app let's say I've put the tomato, right, tomato in the fridge, right? Let's say I've put the tomato in the fridge, right, something like that. Okay, I put a tomato in the fridge. So let's do that. Now see that it's the tomato in the fridge, the date that we put the thing. Okay, something like that. Or maybe I've put the phone, right? The phone, I put it in the back. I think it's okay. Or back pocket. Let me do it like that. Okay, let's say I put it in the back pocket of the black trousers. Okay, so that I will not be searching everywhere looking for it. Okay, I will not be searching everywhere looking for it. Now I know where it is. Now if I do that, I see that it's the phone and I've put it at the back pocket of the black trousers. Okay, something like that. Okay, or maybe it's a earring. Okay, earring, and then I've put it in my my pink. All right, maybe it's a lady, so my pink purse. All right, something like that. You see that it is there. Okay, so you can continuously be adding things. You can continuously be adding things. You can continuously be adding things. It does not mean that there's a limit. There's no limit over here, right? You can just continuously add in them. Okay, and if you don't want, you can also delete or update. Okay, if I click on delete, it's gone. Okay, if I add, let me just add something, maybe the money, I've put it in the pairs. Okay, right, and then I can go and update it. Okay, so maybe it's not in the pairs, but rather in the yellow bag at the black car's back seat. You see how it is. Okay, now in this case, it's gonna be difficult for me to find it if I have not keep a track of it like this. Okay, so I mean, this is what your theme finder app is gonna do, right? And this one is using the concept of CRUD, that is create, read, update, and then delete. Okay, that's what we are actually using over here. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through step by step how to create this thing right from the scratch. All right, and I'm sure you're going to love it very much. Okay, so let's get started and then we go through step by step. Okay, all right, welcome back. So in this tutorial, we're going to see an implementation of or deployment of a sentiment analyzer. All right, so we're going to use Flask to deploy. Actually, let me show you what I mean by that. We're going to use Flask to deploy a sentiment analyzer where we can actually see it live in our browser. Okay, and then based on that, we can paste in some sort of sentences or some reviews and then see the sentiment. Okay, so you can see over here, right? So here we have the Flask app being deployed. It's quite simple, but it works fine. So here you can put whatever sentence that you want to put. So maybe if I put a sentence like maybe I am in a good mood. Okay, so in human understanding, we know that this is a positive sentiment, or it's a positive words that I have. Okay, or a positive sentence. So if I run this one, so that this sentence is positive. Okay, if I say that I am not in a good mood today. Okay, if I do that, see that this is a negative sentence, right? So I mean, this sentence is negative. It works very fine for us. So we're going to see how we can actually do that. We're going to use a pre-trained model, right, in Keras, and then we use that one to deploy using Flask, and then we can deploy it like this. Okay, we can build this kind of I mean, a simplistic app, but it works very, very fine for us. Okay, instead of just getting the model and then leaving it like that, we can go one more step to make it more visually appealing like this. Okay, so that's basically what we're going to do. You can also check reviews of others. So maybe if we go to say Amazon, right? If we go to Amazon and then you click on any product over there, right? So maybe let's click on this pen drive, all right, and then go and see some of the ratings and reviews that they have, right? So let's see some of the reviews. So I don't know why these storage manufacturers and blah 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 blah. Let's see. Good product after so much hesitation. So this will be a positive review. Okay, so let's copy it, go and test it in our app and see if it's gonna give us positive. Okay, so let's click. You see that this sentence is positive. Okay, if you have a negative one, of course it's also going to be able to predict I mean, negative over there for us. Okay, so let's see, right? Let's see if we will have some negative. I think this one, most of the people are writing positive, right? So let's maybe click on a different product over here. Let's see this product and go and see the ratings and see if we will have some negative reviews, right? And then we can use it, right? Products as such is good. I think they are, most of them have positive review, but I'm looking for a negative review to test that. Very useful products. So let's see, are we not going to get a product which is not good? Let's see this one. Let's check the ratings. We should find one person who is saying negative. Okay, this was the worst memory card that I have ever had. I received blah blah blah. Let's see, I think this should be a negative sentiment over there. Let's run it. You see that the sentence is negative, so it works very 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 fine for us. Okay, so we're going to actually see how we're going to build this simple but robust application using Flask and Keras pre-built models. Okay, all right, welcome back. So in this particular tutorial, we're going to see how we can build a name entity recognition using Streamlit. Okay, so previously we have seen how to do it in Google Colab, right? Or if you have also practiced alongside using Jupyter Notebook or Jupyter Lab. All right, but this time we want to make sure that we deploy it using Streamlit and then interact with it via our browser. Okay, so we're trying to build an interactive web app for name entity recognition. Okay, so based on the same concept that we did in the lab session, we're going to do the same thing here in the deployment stage. Okay, and this one is going to be very interesting. In the notebook we saw how to do it in the notebook, but this one we want it to be more interactive and more interesting. Okay, so let me demonstrate how this one is going to work over here. So I'm just gonna get any text from the internet, okay, so that you see how it works. Okay, so maybe we're just gonna search for maybe AI news or something. I think that should work. Okay, so I'm just gonna search for something like that. Anything will work. Anything will work. Okay, anything. It's not that you have to search for AI news. I'm just using AI news because we are doing something related to AI. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy a text from here. Let me see if this one is too much of an image. I want a practical text, right? So let's go here. All right, so this is quite a text over there. So I'm just going to copy this entire text. Okay, let me go all the way starting from, I think, this one. Okay, starting from here all the way up. All right, so it's kind of a huge text over here. Okay, all right, so all the way to this place. Let's copy and then go and test it in our app to see if it works. All right, so now once you do that, now first thing that we're going to do here is to tokenize. So you can press this tokenize button, or you can use if you're Mac, you can use the command and then the enter button to do it, or if you're Windows, you can use Control Enter. Okay, and then that's it. So I'm just gonna press on this tokenize. So once I do that, you can see that it's running over here, right? And you're gonna see the output. Very impressive, right? Very impressive. So here you see that we have the index, right? The text, the respective text has been tokenized for us. And then you see we have the lemmatization over here, right? Part of speech tagging and so on. Everything has been generated, right? Just with that one click. All right. You can also click here. You can see all the token attributes that have been shown over here, right? If you don't want any of them, you can just click on that. You can just click on the cancel button here, and then it's just gonna go just like that. Okay. It's very interesting. Now there's another part over here. If you go to this place, you can see that we have the NER over there, which is the name entity recognition. If we click on that, it's gonna take us to that page, and you can see that here it has generated respective name entity recognitions for us. Okay, that's great. Okay, all the name entities have been generated, and you have the tokens over here as well. Okay, all of them have been generated. It's quite robust and quite smart. Okay, to do that, you can also specify which one of these ones name entities that you want. Okay, whether you want cardinal, date, event, geopolitical entities, language, location, money, anything that you want, you can just have it over here, right? So as simple as that. Okay, if you remember in the lab session, we did all that. Okay, we did all these things manually, step by step, but you can see over here you don't really need to do that. You can easily use an inbuilt model over there to do that. Okay, using the concept of transfer learning, and then you can easily do it. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through step by step how to build this thing. Okay, so that later on you can use it in your workplace, you can use it in your in further projects. Okay, to build on top of that. It's quite robust. All right, it's simple but very, very robust over here. Okay, so let's get started, and I'll walk you through step by step right from the scratch.